Yo, chicken licken is the vibe, by the way. Wow, let me just finish my wind before we get into business. Whoa! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tova and this is another video. We're doing yet another mukbang. Not because I chose let me do mukbang for my content or anything like that. I thought I wanted to do a story time, but I was like, I just don't want to sit and do nothing. So I thought while I'm telling you guys a story, chicken licking. That's what I thought. So yeah guys, I'll be having some chicken licking and telling you guys a story of my roommate from 2018, which was my second year in university, and just the goal that we went through that year and just the mess that it was. In fact, hypothetically and literally, like wow. Anyway, ooh, sorry. I'm actually very hungry. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're an old subscriber and all that stuff, you know, day one supporter, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to comment, to like the video, to share it, and remember to subscribe because obviously we're trying to get to 3K. So yeah guys, without uitala, let's get into the video. So for those of you who know, don't know, whatever, but I was at Wits University up until last year because obviously I finished my undergrad last year and all of that. So in 2018 I was in second year, right? So second year I moved into my place, and I remember the day I moved in, my roommates had already moved in. So I get there with my brother, he helps me unpack, and she would get there, this girl's there, and she's so nice and stuff. She introduces herself and all of that. So yeah man, I thought okay cool, you know. I actually didn't even tell you what I got at chicken licken, guys. I got sliders, I'm sure you guys know those sliders, and I got some wings and some chips, and over here I have some dry lemon. So yeah, but anyway, I'm like, I'm a girl, like she's nice, you know. First impression vibes, and I was like, especially because she's helping me move in and all of those things and whatever, you know. Little did I know that, wow, what's that about home go? So cool. We move in, no problem. First, let's say 2 months. Let's say I really don't remember, but let's not even 2 months actually, let me not even lie, let me say a month or so. Move in, we're happy, we respect each other, we're happy, we're nice to each other, nothing. We watch movies together, you know, buy each other food. It's really like such nice vibes. We'd even like mix our beds together and watch movies and stuff, recommend movies to each other, just all of those things, man, you know, sweet vibes, really really nice vibes. Yeah guys, basically what I did wrong by this one time, basically reprimanding her for not cleaning the sink, right? So she had this thing where she'd ask me to make her a turmeric mask, because my skin used to pop in second year. So you know, she'd see all of these, and she had some issues with her skin, so she'd obviously ask me for advice and things like that or whatever. So she asked me to make her a turmeric mask. So I'm like, of course, you know, I don't mind. Make a turmeric mask for her, excuse me. And she had this habit of putting on a turmeric mask and then when she washes her face, she leaves all that dirty whatever thing is over there. And obviously, like, for me, that was just like, why the hell can't you clean up after yourself, you know? So the first few times I'd clean for her and all of those things and stuff, you know, for the sake of peace and all of that stuff. So I was like, I don't want to be awkward, and we're still new, we're not used to each other like that, and I'm just like, I just don't want to open that can of worms, you know? So I'm like, okay, cool, like, yeah, I just don't want to talk about it. But it got to a point where I was like, no man, this girl, this thing has become a habit. And I was like, if I don't address this with her, obviously she's gonna carry on doing the same thing. Maybe because she feels like, okay, like, she's just gonna leave things dirty, and then she knows that Kanya's gonna get there and clean. Or maybe shame innocently, she doesn't really, it's sort of, she doesn't really take it into account, or it's not a big deal for her. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, it's best obviously to communicate it, and obviously in the most respectful and nice way possible. But please, next time, please clean the sink after you use your turmeric mask and whatever, you know. And we had, our sinks were obviously white, the basin was white, and it would just have a yellow ring all over it and splatters of yellow water everywhere, and it was just very gross, you know. So I sent her a message. I remember sending her a message because I was like, I don't know if I also have the guts to talk about it in person, because obviously we're still cool, you know. So I sent her this message. Yeah, but she took it a bit personal, I guess, because I remember her having a very snaxish comment, but you know, it was like, okay, but eventually she's like, okay, cool, she will, you know, she'll clean up after herself and whatnot and whatever. So okay, sharp, fine. See, yeah, time goes by, we're still happy, we're still good, you know, things like that. But then after a while, I realized that no man, this girlie is actually very dirty. Yo guys, honestly, she was just messy. Yo guys, I don't know, for me, the thing is, a dirty place is really a pet peeve for me. So if you live with me, you actually need to be a clean person. It just doesn't work out if you're not a clean person. And girl, I'm a nice person and I'll address it, you know, properly and whatever. But after some time, I get very irritated because I'm like, I'm not gonna keep having the same conversation with you over and over and over again. Wow, I even forgot to eat. I speak to her again. And I speak to her nicely, and I'm like, sis, please make sure that you clean up after yourself. When you make food, you clean. If you spill something, you clean. You know, things like that. Because she'd make food, and she was always frying stuff. So she'd fry, and there'd be oil splatters everywhere, and she wouldn't wipe it down. She'd spill coffee on the floor, and she wouldn't wipe it, which I didn't understand, because I'm just like, dude, like, what's so difficult about wiping something when there's oil, there's coffee stains on the floor and things like that, you know? Literally, man, if she put on makeup, she'd wash her makeup in the basin, and obviously our basin is white, as I said before, and she'd wash her face there, and there'd just be makeup all over and be smeared all over and stuff. Or after she does her makeup, it'd just be makeup all over, and she wouldn't clean it. And I just didn't understand about what type of human is this that doesn't have. I feel like, guys, every single person should have that thing inside of them that speaks to them that, no man, I must clean after myself. It just doesn't make sense how, as a grown adult, a grown-ass human, you don't have that mindset where you want to live in a clean space and you want to clean after yourself. It just doesn't make sense. So I speak to her nicely, repeatedly, and I get to the point where I'm like, now, you know what, I'm tired of the sun. I cannot do this, and I've just had enough. Oh guys, that girl, she'd see that the sink is clean, the dishes are washed or whatever, and she'd put a plate there. And I'm thinking, why don't you just wash it, wipe it, and put it into the drawer, and you can see that the sink is clean. She'd put plates and thingies with and bowls with bones and food and all those things. She'd put it in the sink, like inside the sink. Why can't you scrape it all up and throw it in the bin? I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Anyway, so cool. You know, constantly she'd be that person. It would always be dirty. I'd speak to her, she didn't care, and I feel like I was like, enough is enough. This was when the beef started going and things started to get tense. Babes, so this one day, I decided, you know what, I'm sick. I'm sick of cleaning up after this girl. I'm sick of speaking to her. I'm just sick of everything. So I decided that I'm gonna make posters, write down all the house rules and stick it in the kitchen. And she was gone that day. She went somewhere, she went out. Stick it on the walls and leave. She must come. Oh, chicken licken. She must come back and the posters are there and I'm not there, and she's not gonna question me. And those things literally are so polite when I wrote those things. And also it was general house rules. General house rules in the like in the sense of literally, if you spill coffee on the floor, wipe it. Duh. If you're making food and you're done, wipe the counter. Duh. Excuse me. If you just got out of the shower, wipe the floor. Duh. If you're doing your makeup and you spill it on the sink, wipe it. Hello. Duh. Like, I mean, be obvious, guys. But clearly to her it wasn't obvious. So I was like, okay, let me put some posters so she can read every day and she can have the reminder that she needs to do all of these things. Fine. So, by doing that, I took her to the top. She sent me an angry message about who is this for, who are these rules for, and I'm like, they're for both of us. And she's like, I didn't make any of these rules. But I'm like, these are general house rules. And she's like, no, I'm not following any rules because I didn't even make any rules. I come home, guys, and she threw my shoes on the floor. All of them, they were just literally just chilling on the floor. Because she had offered some space in her wardrobe for my shoes, because obviously I have a lot of shoes. And she got pissed off to the point where she was like, actually, screw you and your shoes, you're no longer welcome to keep your shoes in my wardrobe. And that's when I knew, but actually, this is a beef. It's no longer you know, civil or anything like that, because things, we were cool, but then things were a bit shaky between us, because obviously I was irritated and I was like, this hand, like, she can't clean up after herself, so I'm very irritated. So fine. After that, I knew about them. Now it's tense. So after that day, we wouldn't speak. Coming to the room, nobody's speaking to the other. You sleep, don't speak to the other. If you need something, you just, you know, handle it and whatever. We literally do not talk at all. Guys, it was just such a toxic living environment, because obviously if you're in university and now you live in this space, you need it to be a safe and a warm and a space with good energy, you know, and you don't need to come home to that toxic vibe of now you and the person that you live with aren't on good terms. You know, you don't speak, you can't, it's not someone you can talk to, even if you guys aren't friends, but just be living in a happy space. And obviously, you know, that takes a toll on you and all of those things, you know. So it was just like a weird and just a bad environment to be in, you know. But yeah, it was what it was. Guys, now homegirl, obviously the beef now started getting very serious. Obviously, now clearly the beef excuse me, had intensified, because now the good sis started accusing me of stealing her clothes, using her makeup, stealing her lipstick and things like that. And I remember literally things got so hectic to the point where she would be so rude to my friends. If our friends would come over, she'd be so rude to them. If my friends, because I had a friend who lived in the same building as me, so if my friend would come and knock and look for me, she'd be so rude to her. You know, she was just she was just basically such a bitch to everyone, you know. And obviously now my space started being that space where now my friends really don't really want to be in my room because they know the roommate mean and always just has a resting bitch face, you know. It was just such an ugly space to be in. And I remember she said that my friends stole her clothes and things like that, and I was just like, why would we steal your clothes? Number one. Number two, we wouldn't even fit into your stuff, because I remember she said my friend stole her top, and I was like, first of all, I've got big boobs, so there's no way in hell I'd steal your top because it wouldn't even go past here. Second of all, she's literally so tiny, so none of us would fit into her clothes. Like, what? Explain, just explain, you know what I mean? And obviously that annoyed me to F and back, because I was like, I don't understand why you know, accuse us of stealing your clothes. It just doesn't make sense. Things got heated, guys. As the year went by, things got heated. I remember there was a time where I came back, because in 2018 I don't really drink much, right? So she had never seen me drinking or seen me drunk or anything like that. So I remember the one time I left, I went out to a friend's place, but then I came back early at around like 12 or whatever. And also usually if I went out, I'd go out to a friend's place and end up sleeping over there, or you know, things like that. So it would be a thing of like, I leave for the weekend and then come back maybe on Sunday, you know. So it was hardly ever a thing whereby I leave and then come back that same evening. So basically when I came back, I came as a shock to her, you know. And I remember walking in, hey guys, scenes upon scenes upon scenes upon scenes. I remember walking in, and obviously it's like, you enter and it's the kitchen, and then it's, what do you call it? What do you call those types? An open plan or whatever. But also it's a student accommodation, so you walk in, it's the kitchen, and then it's a kitchen, but it's in the same passage, and then across is sort of the bathroom, the door to the bathroom, and then you walk in and it's an open plan type of vibes, and obviously those are your beds and wardrobes and whatever. So I'm in the kitchen, I walk in, I'm drunk, by the way, but I wasn't drunk. I was, you know, when you, I don't know, just past tipsy, and we came home early and all those things, so it wasn't a whole heavy drinking night, you know, those vibes or whatever. It was just a games night, so it was just after tipsy. I walk in and the lights are off, obviously, because I'm assuming she's sleeping. I switch the lights on. When I switch the lights on, I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? Babes, the good sis had taken my bed. Don't forget that her and I are still beefing. She took my bed and her bed and put them together. On the bed, it's her, the beds, hopefully let me say, it's her friend, a guy, and another guy. So I walk in tipsy and I'm like, oh, kumnandi. And funny enough, I was so calm. Because I was like, what the fuck? And the boys jump up and they pull their pants up and all those things. And I'm thinking, like, what the flying F are you guys doing, and why is my bed involved in all of that? Obviously they're feeling awkward, they want to leave and whatever. Guess what homegirl says? Homegirl's like, no, relax, just let her, she's just drunk. Bitch, what do you mean I'm just drunk? Lord knows what you guys were doing on my bed. What the fuck? Who does that? In fact, who actually does that? I don't understand. So I was just livid. And I don't even remember what I said, but we exchanged a few pleasantries and things got heated. She started crying, and she went downstairs to the security. She was just crying and all over the place. Security calls me down, obviously, to come find out what's happening. And I was just like, I don't have time for this, honestly. That I'm not coming. And he begged me and begged me and begged me, and I was just like, no way, I'm not doing it. First thing in the morning, I woke up, I went to go tell management, but listen, I'm sick and tired of living with this girl. I say no, I need another roommate.
No! Please, I say no!
I was like, there's just no fucking way in hell that I'm gonna live with this girl any longer if I lose going on. And management comes up to our room, things like that. Obviously now she's coming to do, what was our building manager, coming to do the inspection. Guys, our room, it was a mess. It was just dirty on the floor. I remember she opened the fridge, there was just like rotten spinach, old ass McDonald's. She had had McDonald's in there for like 3 months. That's when I knew because there's no way, guys, after not even 2 days is a lot for McDonald's. After a day, you're like, okay, maybe I can still eat because I'm young. But after 2 days or 3 days, babes, throw that shit away, because definitely not. Definitely not. And I remember she had bones in there. I will actually insert a video. She had bones. And I asked myself, like, why do you have bones in the fridge? It's not like you're gonna eat them. It's not like you don't use bones again after you eat your food. Like, I don't get it. So guys, like, I was just like, enough is enough. Yeah. I called the manager. Started swearing at me, going off, telling me she's gonna kill me, just all of these things and whatever. She's like, she's gonna, and then she called her mom, obviously telling her mom everything that's going on. And I was like, no babes, feel free, call your mom. Guys, literally we were fighting, and I remember our door was open and our building manager had to stand in between us because baby girl was ready to throw hands. And I was standing there like, babes, don't, I heard people who are here. If you better, I hate someone who's gonna be promising me hands, or don't promise me hands, they hit me rather than then and she was just going off and whatever. And I remember like our building manager standing in between us, because obviously like homegirls are, I'm gonna smack you, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. And I was thinking, like, I'm so bored, honestly, I'm so bored. And I remember our door was open and everybody in everybody in the building was standing on their balconies watching a movie. That is us, basically. Hey guys, hey, yo, I'll never forget that girl. I will never forget that hand. And then yeah, so it was just that whole drama and things like that. So obviously the building manager was like, okay, it's clear that there really is a problem here, so one is gonna have to move out, you know. And excuse me, and she was like, okay, you guys will have to discuss that between the two of you, which obviously is very messed up, because it's kind of like, how do we reach how do we, you know, now become civil and have to reach a final decision on who's going to move out and who's going to stay and whatever, or who's not funny and we don't even speak. But I remember her saying that she's not going to move out, and I also told myself I'm not going to move out because I absolutely loved that room, and it was going to be a hassle having to move out and go find another room, get a new roommate. What if that roommate is also shitty and all those things? So we ended up living together for the rest of the year, not speaking, no greeting, no nothing, no laughing, nothing. Like, when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Guys, I'm telling you, by the time we moved out of that room, her and I did not speak at all. And I remember when she slept, she just breathed so weirdly. And I remember texting my friends like, guys, this girl scares me now. Because I've obviously heard so many stories of people getting killed by their roommates or getting harmed by their roommates. So I was like, yo, son of this hand, what if she does something to me in my sleep or whatever? But yeah, guys, at least I'm still, you know, still alive, still kicking. So silapa ngoku. But yo, guys, that was just my story of my nightmare roommate in 2018. And then funny enough, the next year, which was last year, I got such an amazing roommate, Shem, such a sweetheart. Shout outs to her. And yeah, man, oh god, God came through. God knew, but babes, you've been through so much, you deserve such an amazing person. And Shem, she's such a sweetheart. So yeah guys, but otherwise that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my story. And yeah man guys, niphathane kahle, like xa uhlala nomuntu umphathe kahle umuntu, ningabe nigubisana and all of that stuff, like yeah. But anyway, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to get to 3K subscribers, get K to 3K, and I'll check you guys in my next video. Love you guys so much.